Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Anthony Austin, Executive Director of Southeast Youth and Family Services. And over the past year, we have heard a lot of feedback from our community about how is Southeast funded. And so I'm here to kind of answer that question for us today. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a rock demonstration using the time management illustration. And we're going to flip it on its head and make it about funding demonstration. So most organizations, we are funded through grants and contracts. So here's our grant or contract from the state. We're going to put that into our organization. All right. And then we got some funding from the county. Let's put them in there. Okay, still with me? Right. So then there's some funding from City of Seattle, some funding from City of Renton, maybe some funding from a school district, Highline. Okay. So as you see, with our big grants, our big contracts, it doesn't fully fund the entire organization, right? So we're missing out on admin costs, the extra ask that families have for diapers, for IT support. We aren't able to pay staff a living wage for the city of Seattle or this region, right? It doesn't provide for building maintenance or upgrades. And it definitely doesn't allow us to dream about how we can better serve our community. Okay, so let's take all of these funders out of the pot, and we're going to do it a different way. Let's start with our monthly donors first. So here's a group of monthly donors here. Here's a group of monthly donors here. And here's a group of monthly donors here. Okay, so now we have a foundation with our monthly donors. And what this means is that they are consistently contributing to our organization every month. It's easier to fill our budget needs. It's easier to provide the diapers for the families that need them. It's easier for us to offer inflation increases for our staff by having this great foundation. So now we're going to add back in our contracts on top of our donors. So now here we are. Here's our organization. It's a little more full. We could do some things. We can do a little bit of dreaming. We can do some things for the community. We can provide some resources, but we're still not fully covering our costs, right? Admin is still coming out of our reserves. We're still operating out of reserves. So here is our one-time donors. So we're going to add our one-time donors into this pot. All right, here comes our donors. Yes, there's one fundraiser with some donors. Here's our Give Big. Helping out. Here's some small business gifts. All right, helping out. Okay. And here's end of the year. Final push. Final push. Let's get there. End of the year. We have made it. So you can see with our monthly donors, our one-time givers, it is much easier for an organization like ours to make our budget, to provide supports for the community. Fewer children are falling through the cracks who need counseling. We get to give our staff raises. We get to make building improvements. And then finally, this releases us so we can dream big about how we can better our community. So my ask is, will you help us increase our monthly donor base? Will you stand with us and say, yes, every child in our community is important and needs the resources to thrive mentally and emotionally? Thank you for considering partnering with Southeast in the way that you do. Thank you.